I do want to get to what you're doing for employees. Let me start with the first stakeholder group I'm thinking of, which is investors. If I'm somebody who is a shareholder in Veeva, how should I think differently about investing in you versus investing in, say, a competitor that's not a public benefit corporation?
Well, for an investor, the good thing, what helps the investor in the long term, the investor will care about a financial return, which over the long term can be correlated to growth of revenue, growth of profits, and also the durability of a company. All things considered, an investor is better off in a durable company rather than one that has lots of ups and downs. So when you look at our public benefit corporation, it allows us to have longer and deeper standing relationships with our customers because they feel comfortable going all in with Veeva. So that helps us grow our revenue, and it helps us be more efficient because when you have trust, you have more efficient business. Being a public benefit corporation lets our customers know they have an actual seat at the table that's equal to investors. In the same way, it allows us to attract employees that have the right kind of values. So it makes us more efficient as a company. That benefits investors.
Let me ask about employees, because you've come out very strongly about non-compete agreements. This is a subject that has been in the news somewhat. Tell us about your stance.
Yes, I believed in this forever. I've felt that, I first became aware of them at Veeva, really, that, we don't have non-compete agreements, but other companies do. And it just felt incorrect to me. I feel like the relationship between an employer and employee is two-way. Again, a lot of things I do, just like anybody, comes back to my upbringing. And I remember my father saying, if you have a paying job, you need to do your best because somebody's paying you. And I feel that, and that's called work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
But also, by the same token, once an employer is no longer paying an employee, they should not have a claim on that ex-employee. And that's why I feel non-competes are incorrect for employees. Because, while a person is working, they give their best. While they're not working, after they're not being paid, they've left, they should be able to free to follow their own passions. So that's for the employee. But there's a patriotic thing here too. The US is the most backwards country in terms of non-competes, and it hurts our economy because it doesn't allow businesses to be formed naturally. And I was born in the US. I believe in the US. I want to do the right thing for the US.
We're the most backwards. It's funny because where would you put us on the intellectual property front? Because I would imagine that these two are correlated somewhat. If I'm an employer, I would worry about somebody walking out the door and replicating my product next door.
Yeah, I think we're one of the most advanced in terms of in our court systems for protecting intellectual property with confidentiality agreements, with patent laws that are respected, that type of thing. So we're very well protected. But in this area of non-competes, basically no other modern country allows this form of non-paid, non-compete agreement. Now, there are exceptions, such as California, where I live. Non-competes have been banned for a long, long time, and it's helped the economy here. I just want to see that system come to the whole U.S., and it'll help the country and the people in the country.
So let me get back to the broader question of, you started this company in 2007. I know you've been working in the space longer than that. When you think about the role of the leader, do you have a different mindset around it now than you did when you were starting the company? Because you made this transition to being a public benefit corporation just 2 years ago.
Oh, it's a great question. Absolutely a different mindset. Because when you start a small company, we started in 2007, we only had 90-day plans. Most startups just go out of business. And I was just thinking, can we make a product? Can we actually sell it to a customer? Can we get that customer live and happy? It was just very immediate because it's very fragile, a startup.
Yeah.
But then gradually over time, you realize, wow, we're we have happy customers. We're building a durable company. Now we have a responsibility to lead in a responsible way and sort of protect this for generations. So it absolutely evolves. If you would have asked me in 2007 when I started, hey, what's Veeva's impact going to be on society? I would have said, I have no idea. I'm just trying not to go out of business.
Well, and it's interesting. I want to end on the zeitgeist question. Again, if you were to think about, let's take your peer group, whether it's the S&P 500, people are watching this, they care about sustainability. They sit there and say, hey, let's just go and be a PBC ourselves. How easy is it? If you were how many companies would you look at and say, yeah, what percentage would be eligible to even claim the status if they went through the process?
Well, the process is difficult, as it should be. It's not something you should take lightly. So it requires a majority vote of your shareholders to convert from a regular company to a PBC. So that's a process in itself. But also, first, you want to align your values to this as a company, to this true multi-stakeholder approach, because otherwise you'll be conflicted. So it's first change who you are, or realize, are you a multi-stakeholder company? If you really are, I think put it to a shareholder vote. If you're really not, then you shouldn't, because it'll cause a conflict in your company.
Excellent advice. I look forward to continuing the conversation, Peter. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks very much for having me.